Hello, Hathorians, and welcome to an episode of Leadership Forum. And today's a special episode because it's actually the first leadership forum we've had post nano contracts. So well done, we made it. Nano contracts are now on mainnet. Jan, how are you doing?
I'm very good, and you?
I'm doing extremely well. Sorry, a little cough there. Yeah, I'm doing really well. Goes to say we've been extremely busy. Everyone has been busy in the team. You name it, something's being done, and it's been a lot of long weekends, but we got there. We reached block number 6,048,000. I believe that's the number, and it went smooth, and it's been a great launch. Everything's running great, and it's already awesome to see that you've been making videos with the Hathor Playground and just getting stuck in with nano contracts. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I know that we're here to talk about the roadmap and all of that, but I mean, I'm super excited now that we have Nano's live. Uh, there's a lot of stuff that I'm excited about, to be honest. I think we'll discuss that in a bit, but I think with Nanos, we're just opening this opportunity for everyone to contribute as well. So I'm having this development background myself, even though unfortunately I haven't been developing a lot. Uh, yeah, I'm super excited to see what people are gonna create.
for sure, for sure, and we'll touch on that in a bit actually. In this episode, I know we've positioned this as an AMA. We've put a Google form out there and actually collected some questions from the community. But we're going to do this. We're going to use this time. We've got you here with us right now, just to kind of maximize from this episode. So, kind of want to just touch on like what's been happening, the highlights actually from the roadmap as well. Give us a little overview, and then we'll probably end on a few of the questions actually. But I believe a lot of the content here will actually answer some questions as we go along. So yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in with this really. Um, so yeah, actually, yeah, I actually wanted to start. You know, it seems like yesterday, mainnet, not for nano contracts because it was like literally yesterday, but for Hathor mainnet 2020. It's been a long road. Actually, January will be 6 years since mainnet, and since then, and only up until recently, we did a transition into Web3, right? Um, so I guess that's in the last 1 to 2 years we switched, and I guess you can kind of touch on the whole RWA side and the Web3 side. But when I look at everything that we've achieved and what we've done as a project and as a community in this last year alone, we've progressed pretty well. Um, Not only have we committed to like the following, but we've also shipped it. So I'm just gonna count it down with you now. We've done the launch of nano contracts. We've not only audited but delivered a mainnet EVM bridge. We've we spoke about Uniswap pool as a concept, and it's here today. We have a wrapped token on Arbitrum, AHTR, giving HTR direct on-chain liquidity in DeFi. We've audited and integrated MetaMask snaps. Um, and we're about to launch the Hathor Web3 wallet, which looks amazing, by the way. Can't wait to share it with the community. And we're just like, moments away, days away from the launch of Doza, right? Which is a very, very good DEX. It's something we've seen with the community over the last year as well. We've had test nets, and so all of this has been achieved inside like roughly a year, in terms of some of them being concepts to being live on mainnet. So it's pretty clear that and when you see stats on entities like Chainbroker, we're leading the path, right? Because all of these commits are live and being picked up by entities like Chainbroker. So it's because the team's been working hard, the community's been working hard. Of course, we've got community builders as well. So it's pretty fair to say we're building, right? And we have been building, and it's been a busy year of building for the last year.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, we've been very busy for this past year, but the truth is we've always been busy. I think if you look at the metrics, um, I'd say it's fairly constant. Number of commits, whatever metric you wanna take as saying that we're busy. I think the main difference now is our focus. Now that we are more focused on Web3, and now the community definitely sees more of it because the projects are
Yeah.
something that they are going to use. So, MetaMask snaps, the EVM bridge, well, nano contracts, obviously. So those are things which are very tangible and they get you experience. Whereas before, when we're more focused on enterprise or WA, yeah, they wouldn't see it as much. And also, I'd say there is more of a failure rate, let's say, in closing deals. So sometimes we would be talking to like a corporation or something to develop a project, and then we had to do maybe a proof of concept, or you have to modify their wallet to support their particular use case. But then that didn't really see the light of the day
Oh,
because they didn't move forward. And, those are things that actually, that was real work and actually helped us. I mentioned the wallet making more scalable. That was a specific case where, we had to improve our wallet to be able to handle a higher load. But in the end of the day, the project didn't come to fruition. So it seemed that yeah, we did nothing for that period. But that's not true, right?
yeah,
And we did have a lot of successes, and that's why we were able to get to over $200 million in real world assets. I think very few chains can claim that. So yeah, we've always been busy. Managed to get to this like huge amount of TVL and RWAs, and now that we shifted our focus towards Web3 and we are expanding more into that area, I think that's why the community is seeing more and more us shipping, and yeah, that should be the trend moving forward.
yeah, absolutely. Actually, I like the points you raised about even the phase of RWA's institutions, because people don't realize that in order to have that real institutional adoption and so on, you have to go through these POCs, like you said, and give time to see if there is a synergy that does play out, right? Like it's not
Yeah,
something.
and I have to say it's very frustrating.
Yeah,
It's super frustrating because sometimes you're discussing and planning the project for weeks or even months, and then it doesn't happen. And then that's one of the things I'm most excited about with Nanos, because now we have this platform where anyone can build. You don't have to ask for permission in terms of
100%.
you know you just do whatever project you want. You can move much more with more agility, much faster. So yeah, that's I'm pretty excited about it.
100%. I think we could talk on the history of nanos a bit later, but it's just fair to say with the pathway into Web3, and how 2025 has gone, we're in control of that path when it comes to shipping product out, and I think we've done a really great job with this year. So congrats to you and the dev team. I know that they've worked hard. And yeah, it's pretty much fair to say the old roadmap has been completed, and now we're introducing and have introduced the new roadmap of Hathor Network, which is super exciting. And touching on the roadmap, I guess one of my first questions, and this is a question outside of the Q&A, but it's actually come up inside the Q&A, which is why we're kind of flowing it naturally. But why did we decide to launch the roadmap now? Why after the nano contracts mainnet?
Yeah, I mean the short answer is that we want to show everyone where we're headed, kind of our vision of the future, where we think it's important for us to work on. And not only that, maybe more importantly, is that we want the community to move forward with us, right? To build with us. So with Nanos, as I said, now anyone can build stuff, and that's why I'm super excited, because anyone can build. We have this roadmap so people can see where we're headed, which kind of features
Yeah.
we're gonna have. And again, I think releasing the roadmap is kind of clarity and making sure that everyone knows where our priorities are.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess, look, the roadmap is a key part to any project. It's usually something, being in the community for a few years now, it's quite common that you see people drop in and one of the first questions they ask is, what's the roadmap of this project? Tell me about this project. During any type of cycle, whenever someone's trying to learn about a project, they want to know what's coming, right? Also, it's like something that gives the community a sense of knowing what's being well informed about what's coming and what we're working on, so that they can expect updates. Yeah, the roadmap is a nice piece. It's something good for me. I guess for me, I'm working the community side, but also the content side as well. So I now know the amazing things that we plan on building and have maybe probably already started on a lot of things. We can start reminding people and also networking, even when it comes to the BD side of what the industry we're in. It's good for partners and potential partners to know what we're building. And partners aside, community is a big part, as you know, of the network and the HTR token. And there's no doubt they don't have a crucial role. What I want to ask you is, what do you expect from the community, Jan? I mean, Nano Contracts is now live. We've been on mainnet for quite some time, and we've seen some work from the community in the past. But now, this is a new Hathor, right? We have so much more than we did before. How do you see people getting involved and starting to shape the future of Hathor from a community side?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, one of the reasons to make the roadmap public is making sure that the community is with us, and that includes, the builders. So, I mean, obviously, we've always been able to build on Hathor, making blockchain easy. It's been our motto since the beginning, let's say. So, I've always wanted to make it easier for developing. You could always do it. But now with nano contracts, you have a lot more possibilities, right? So you had tokenization, which was native, very easy, including NFTs back in 2021, where NFTs were all the hype. We saw that how that played out.
100%.
But now really we have much more potential to be explored, to be honest. And so we want to, have this community building with us. And for me, what's amazing, it's already starting to see some people developing use cases. I mean, we know those are obviously, we've been talking about them for a long time. But all of a sudden, like there's Hathor Labs developing, like, wow, amazing. They're developing already 3 different use cases on the network. Another guy doing X402 payments related to AI agents. So, you're seeing now that this is delivered, people getting more and more involved. And I think for me, it's, that's super exciting. And I think the roadmap, again, helps align us and where we're headed and which kind of features they're also going to have in the future. But the roadmap, not just a roadmap, but now is the time for the community really to come and build with us. I'm super excited, and I think whoever sends me a message about building use cases, I know I get a lot of messages about random stuff, and sometimes it's pretty hard to answer all of those. But whenever they're building something, sometimes it can take some time.
Yeah.
But I'll reply because it's the thing that excites me the most.
100%. 100%. Yeah, you're spot on. And yeah, you touched on like 2021, and it was great to see. I know I've mentioned this, but like we had tokenization native there, and people did stuff with it. Loads of tokens came up within the community, and NFT support bought some amazing NFT projects we have today, and also matured into having an NFT marketplace like we had NowSwap and have NowSwap, and they did so much during that cycle with not saying so little, because actually our native tools were great enough and got us to where we are today. But now with nano contracts, and like you said, you've got Hathor Labs, for example, the blueprints those are building, and so on. There's the opportunities are endless, and even when we start seeing maybe new blueprints come about, and even with the existing setup we have, we strongly want community members to step forward and approach us. We'll help. We'll get you guys where you need to be. You've got a great idea. You've got a concept. Let us hear about it, right? And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Hathor Labs. And I know we're probably due some sort of ecosystem update when it comes to even Toth ID, Kenzu, because name service, and of course the token launch pad, to say like the meme launch pad is going to be cool. It's really going to be cool. So lots of cool stuff there. And Jan, before I move on to the actual set of questions, now looking at the roadmap as an overview, the main question I wanted to ask you, there is a lot there. Um, but I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, what do you believe out of this newly announced roadmap? What excites you the most about what's on there? Like, what do you believe out of, not out of everything, everything on there excites me, but what stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, we always have our favorites, right?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, Python smart contracts. Well, they're not roadmap, right? They're already reality, but yeah, Python smart contracts. Yeah, they excite me a lot. Um, but if I had to highlight a few, I'd say, I mean, first, developer monetization is something that not a lot of other chains are exploring, and it's something that's on a roadmap. We understand if we want to have a true community of builders, it's something that we need to develop. Think about WordPress and how good it is, how good it's become
Yeah.
because it allow developers to monetize even if they didn't deploy the websites themselves, right? You can develop an extension, a plugin, or something like that. So yeah, it's something definitely worth looking into, and whoever kinds of finds a solution for that is, yeah, it's going to grow a lot, really a lot. And kind of tying that with Python being the main language of the protocol, that allows us to have a bigger pool of developers who can develop things on Hathor. The other thing that excites me a lot is the AI playground that we launched. So, I mean, just the idea that you can quickly create your own blueprints and, yeah, start building your solution, your DApp, or whatever it is. It's very powerful, right? I've been doing these videos of, showing how to use a blueprint, and yeah, I think that we're missing one, so I'll try to do it here live. Not usually a good idea, right, to do things live, but we can try for a bit. I think I'm sharing my screen here.
I guess we
Uh,
have. Which one are you going to do now? Is this the testing or the a?
I know. I'll go straight to the AI because that you're asking about what the things are exciting. I think the playground with the AI integration that is super cool, super powerful. So
You've done a lot of videos. I lost track there for a second. I know we've got some out. So okay, cool. Hit us with it. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, like this is a part I haven't shown yet, right? So like you have the AI assistant on the right,
Sure.
and I mean, remember this is the first version of the playground. There's a lot to improve still, but we'll try to develop a new a new blueprint. So tic-tac-toe just starts with the basic, like the template, boilerplate, and I'll just say create tic-tac-toe, and let's see what's going to come up with. They're using Gemini from Google. I saw that they just released the new model 3.0. We still haven't updated, to be honest. So even with the update, it should become even better just
Yeah.
by using the latest model. So yeah, I'm very excited. What this can bring to us, because this is going to remove a lot of the barriers from developers who are not, let's say, blockchain developers, right?
Sure.
With Python and all that. So yeah, let's see what's got. So it gives us a lot of instructions. Player A, player O, player X. Get board, get winner, get resets. Let's actually see. Oh, since let's just preview the final one. Actually, let's just apply and we can see, the final thing here. So you see that it's created. Amazing that it created custom error classes, which is a very good programming practice. So very clean, very neat.
Something you'd have to
Uh,
generally do manually yourself in the.
yeah, whose turn it is, if it's game over, well, the board, winner. I mean, it's basically all here, right? Again, it's amazing, and then just from the playground, you can initialize and do all the stuff. So yeah, it's really amazing. Winning combinations and all of that. So, I mean, this really drastically reduces the amount of time or even knowledge that
Yeah,
that you
absolutely.
need in order to start building a blueprint, right? So, this is something that it's going to be it's already very powerful, but again, this is just the beginning, like the first version of the blueprint of the AI playground. As you see on the roadmap, our view is to have something that can build the entire that,
Sure.
blueprints, front end, back end, the whole thing.
Wow.
For those of you who are familiar with, let's say, Riplet or Lovable, that's our view for Hathor Playground, to be the Riplet, let's say, of Hathor Network, and kind of the standard for building with AI
Wow.
on the blockchain. So we can remove the all this that high barrier for people coming into Web3 development. So yeah, right now basically helps you with blueprints, which is already very powerful, but in the future with everything. So not just developers are going to be able to create their Web3 applications, anyone. And so that's how you get to create new decentralized applications, because we know that there are not a lot of great use cases of Web3 so far. We can mention a few, and if we can open up this market to other people who have great ideas but maybe they don't know how to build it, then yeah, we can get some very interesting projects and products. And finally, I saved the last one for one that's kind of new on Hathor. I think people are not expecting this and came out of the blue, let's say, but it's something that I'm very excited about, which is privacy. Privacy is kind of a founding principle in crypto. So it's something that people kind of took for granted, but we lost it a little bit in the past couple of years, or the last decade, let's say. And, I think it's very powerful to allow people to make private transactions, shielded transactions, where you don't know how much is being transacted, which tokens are being transacted. So if you couple that with Hathor's, native easy tokenization, that's even more powerful. So imagine that you can create your own token like this, right? And then just start trading it privately, with shielded transactions. So for me, that I'm very, very excited about it. We know that a lot of countries, this is a must-have feature. It's going to be super important for a lot of people living, especially more authoritarian countries. We know with stablecoins right now, we're talking about some of the use cases which are good in crypto, and I think stablecoins are the best ones at the moment. Right? They are being used by everyone, not even people who are just in crypto. So imagine having, private stable coins. You can send, let's say USDT to people privately without then other people knowing why you're transacting or how much. So for me, again, that's super, super powerful. I'm very excited about this. And not just stable coins, right? But create your own token. You can have even RWAs also privately. We know this is a big barrier for banks, for financial institutions adopting blockchains, kind of the fact that everything is public, everyone can see everything. So I think this is kind of the missing piece as well for financial adoption.
Definitely. And I think, of course, we privacy, you talk about RWAs, for example, the first thing that popped to my head was like, even transacting a share of a property, some things should be kept private, and it's interesting to see that privacy is taking so long. Like you said, we lost our way a bit in the industry, but yeah, people are, when you think of decentralization, you think about owning your owning your interaction, right? And I think privacy is also attached to that. So amazing stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to say, I always tell people about the nano contracts in general. Like, my go-to pitch was, plug and play smart contracts, just a few clicks. But then when you were doing that demo, you literally clicked like 2 or 3 times. I was like, he just did that in a few clicks, with the tic-tac-toe. So it's amazing to see,
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, if I was developing something, I would have done. I've been much more specific, right? I would give a more detailed description. So I just did that because I wanted to show how easy to like create tic-tac-toe, right? I didn't. I mean, obviously, tic-tac-toe is a simple game, and everyone understands the basic rules. But yeah, I would probably say a few different things on how I want it to be
Yeah,
played, with all that. But what's amazing is that it understands and can create something, very, very quickly, and then you can iterate on top of it. Um, Obviously, like after the contract is done, that first version, you can say, okay, I like this to be different, and it's yeah,
yeah.
it's very fast.
It's. I know we can dive into this topic for a long time. It could be like a can of worms, but it's like when you're using LLMs like ChatGPT, for example, like you mature yourself in the way you prompt it as a user. Like I'm someone that's started using AI in the last couple of years, and the more and more I use it, the better you get. And going back to your original point, you said eventually it's not just going to be the developer; it's going to be anyone, and the prompts that they do, and the prompts that you do to create these contracts and so on. As the AI gets used more, or the user nurtures and learns how to create more, you'll get better products from the Hathor playground. Right? So
Yeah,
it's
I mean, for instance, I was just looking at it. Let me actually share my screen again and again. This is live, so I might be burned here live. But as I said, like after the first one is done, for instance, I didn't like that on initialize here, it receives one player as parameter, and actually the other one is kind of the player who creates,
sure.
the contract. I'd like to receive both players as a parameters then of using the context get roller. Let's see
Well,
what's gonna come up with. Again, it's you can iterate very fast
yeah,
on how you do those things. Um, and I don't know, like maybe just because I have a technical background, but these all seems like super simple, even for
no, yeah,
non-tech people. Maybe you just have a bit of knowledge of tech knowledge, and then you can do it. So let's see. Okay, let's see the differences. Yeah, what's cool here is on the left, it's the difference in yeah. So in theory, it did well, right? Now it receives two players, and then it sets not more, and the rest of the contract is all good. So
wow,
just apply here again, live demo, tic-tac-toe. Let's initialize. Okay, no, it's not. I'm using the same player. So yeah, so it's created. Um, yeah, let's say is game over. It shouldn't be. Yeah, return false. So I mean, again, very easy, very simple to do. You can iterate and change, adapt wherever you are. Just those are two sentences that I typed there, right?
yeah.
First, create tic-tac-toe, and then adjust this thing that I didn't like.
Yeah,
So yeah, again, amazing.
yeah, something that the average user would do these days on prompting ChatGPT, whether it is for something, but then yeah, for building a smart contract, it's done the exact same way. So it's amazing to see. Like I said, the
Yeah,
can of worms, but
and
a rabbit hole. You can talk about this stuff forever.
yeah, and integrated to like to develop and testing platform already, right? I think that's also very interesting because I mean you develop and then you can already kind of execute it and see if it's doing what you want.
Sure, sure. Wow, well, that's amazing. Yeah, I think I've seen that we pushed a few episodes out, short clips of you testing. So seeing this one live, it was probably
Yeah, that was another one that I was gonna do. So yeah,
okay. Yeah,
now
you
I don't have to do it anymore.
good teaser. We'll chop it up for sure, Jan. So yeah, Jan, I think it's about time we probably get into some of the questions. So as you know, this content was originally an AMA, but you've answered some of the questions already in other forms. But let's actually go through the ones that were most commonly asked and get stuck in. So we've got 7 here. I'll start with the first question, and it's about blueprints. The question is, blueprints need approval today. Why? And when will this change?
Yeah, I mean the short answer is we wanted to ship Nano as fast as we could.
Yeah.
So, while fees are being developed, it's one of the things that are in development. We wanted to ship it, and at the same time, we can already get, the blueprints in a controlled, let's say, environment, see if everything is being done correctly. So yeah, that's kind of the reason that blueprints need approval, because without fees, people could just, create blueprints that would have like infinite loops or anything like that, and obviously we don't want that.
Sure.
So we also get us the opportunity to, have this controlled environment that we can see if everything's running well and it's compatible with future upgrades and all that. So that's kind of the reason. And I mean, yeah, that's going to change. We're going to introduce fees. People are going to be able to, push their blueprints to the network whenever they want. And I mean, that's that's the end goal, and that's how we are going to, it's full decentralization, which is always our end destination.
100%. As you said, decentralization is our destination. That should be a motto. Yeah, you're absolutely correct there. Thanks for that, Jan. And actually, moving on to the second question, it's probably one of the most commonly asked questions. And actually, as and when we announced the roadmap, it came up a couple of times, and it's linked into time frames. The specific question is, what is the estimated time frame for completing the roadmap, meaning this new roadmap? And that people have put 1 year, 2 years, or more. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, when you asked why we released the roadmap, I think
Yeah,
I could also said that yeah, we needed a new when this or when that. It
yeah,
was when nanos, and now we need a when, I don't know, privacy, or
yeah, exactly.
when whatever. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? Everyone always talks about, yeah, it's gonna take, another 5 years because then the contracts took such a long time to be
Yeah,
developed. So, kind of. And I mean, as we discussed in the beginning, we're doing a lot of stuff during those years,
yeah,
and a lot of stuff that people were not seeing. And so it's not like, yeah, it took us like 5 years to develop nano contracts, because we're doing a lot of things in parallel when our focus were more about RWAs and enterprises. And just recently that we kind of switched gears, and now we're entering more into Web3. And that's when we developed more, we devoted more resources, people, and yeah, like audits and all that into nano contracts, and we got it completed. So, I mean, that's one point. And the other one is also that nano contracts, they evolved a lot. Our initial idea, and I think we still have some code in it that I created back when I was doing some development. They were much simpler. They were just a few opcodes that you could use to create some basic kind of templates of transactions and all of that. But they were nowhere near what we have with nano contracts today, which is, a full-fledged smart contract platform where you can develop basically anything by using the Python VM, which is also very innovative. So, nano contracts, they changed a lot from our original vision because we felt that was necessary. I think for the items in the roadmap that we have nowadays, they are much more direct. I mean, that's not to say that we don't have any research and development. For instance, the privacy bit that I talked, that I'm very excited about. Yeah, it's already under research, let's say, but we have a more clear path on how that's going to be done. I mean, having said all that, talking about timeframes at the protocol level is always tricky. Even like Ethereum Foundation, they have like very broad guidelines that they give and all that. And the one thing that we're going to do moving forward right now is being more having constant updates about how things are moving forward. So, again, the idea of releasing this roadmap was making sure that the community understood where we were headed, and they could, move together with us. And so as we release this update as well, we feel that's kind of give them a sense on how things are going to be completed, because it would be responsible for me to say, okay, we're going to complete this one in 6 months, the other one in 1 year, because again, some of the things are research, and it's hard to predict when they're going to come into fruition. But what I can say is that I mean, our full focus are on those items right there. which is aligned with our mission for Web3. And then we're also going to be giving regular updates about the progress that we have in that.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, no, thanks for touching that. I think you raised a good point there. Like, as you said, the nanos we had defined back in, when it was announced in 2020, 2021, is not the same nanos we have today. Went through its own journey, even to the journey of having the testnet and adding functions after the testnet, learning what the devs needed for it to be a very mature, very powerful nano that we have today. So yeah, I completely agree with you. And like we said as well, yeah, go for it.
No, yeah, I'd say just the one final point that I forgot to mention is there are also some items in the roadmap. They are not, protocol level. Like even the AI playground that we just showed.
Yeah,
I mean, being very blunt, it started as a side project of one of our engineers, he was doing on his off time. And yeah, it became what it is right now because we can iterate over it much faster than other stuff. For base protocol, yeah, obviously we have to be more careful. For other products, we can be much more agile. And I mean, we already have this first version of the AI playground. We're already very advanced on other stages of the playground where you're gonna be able to develop the dApp, the front end, and all that. So, I mean, there are things which we have to be more careful, making sure that we're not going to have any problems on the network level. But now things develop on top of the protocol. Yeah, those can move much faster. As I think with the playground, which
yeah,
I don't know, like if we count, how long did it take to develop this? If we were doing this, full time and all that, less than a month. So
yeah. Wow,
I think a lot more stuff, especially now that we have this smart contract platform, can be developed much faster,
much faster.
more agile.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I think it's a great point you raised about the protocol level and building on top. It's two very different things, and like you said, like even for the launch of Nano, we saw it was predefined on the chain. It's something that had to fall in place. Node operators and so on had to be notified with the feature activation. It's something that it's very complicated, and building product on top of the protocol, like you said, if a lot of resource went into this side project, which now has turned into something really, really great, would have taken a month. So I think you've got the nail on the head there, yeah. And yeah, you touched on it. We touched on it before, right? I guess on top of the protocol level, like the things we talked about, EVM bridge, MetaMask snaps, Uniswap pool, all of these great stuff, they were done inside 1 year, and it just goes to show, right? So I guess the main thing is you guys, the dev team are definitely on a good momentum, and I guess we'll carry forward that momentum into the new roadmap and new deliverables.
Yeah.
Um, Amazing. So yeah, thanks for answering that, guys. You asked about timeline. That was very thorough. I'm gonna clip this, turn it into a short, send it into the price chat with Ben and Wen and whoever.
Oh, well, I mean, and then again, talk about the elephant in the room. I think, I mean, the best answer is going to be delivering more stuff. I think that's
Yeah,
kind of the best answer that we can have.
yeah, 100%. Delivering more stuff. And look, like you said, I think it's amazing that the Hathor Playground, something so great came up out of nowhere, right? And I do foresee more use cases like that popping up, out of nowhere. So we're ready to embrace it. Now the floor, now the stage has been set. So great stuff. Moving on to the next question, Jan. Uh, Another common question, actually. It's a pretty straightforward one. Will HTR be listed on more exchanges soon?
Yeah, there's still the when Binance, so no
Yeah,
when Nano anymore, but still have when Binance. I mean, yeah, obviously, getting listed on more and more exchanges, larger exchanges, it's always in our radar, and we're always discussing with them. I think now that Nanos are live, we have a great platform and a very clear strategy on how to move forward and make the network grow. Because being very honest, the way to attract more listings is making the network grow and being more visible and having more activity. So I think now with Nano, it's kind of the perfect time to do it. can we list immediately in other exchanges? Yeah, we can list in some exchanges, but is it worth it, right? We can just pay to be listed on some exchanges, but we want to be listed in exchanges which are larger and going to really add more value to our network, to our community, deliver more trading volume. But we feel that just, paying money just for the sake of listing, just so we can, kind of answer the community. Yeah, you see, like we did 2 or 3 listings this year. That's not worth it, right? We want to just spend money where we think it's gonna really have value, and just, I don't know, spending $50,000 or maybe $30,000 just for the sake of listing, so we can kind of hit a milestone. It's not worth it, because we're very, very diligent on how we spend the money. I think we
100%.
will owe it to everyone. So yeah, again, yes, we are always engaging in conversations with exchanges, and yeah, making Hathor more attractive, more active is a key part of it.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. And yeah, an active network is an attractive network. That's another one, another tagline. But yeah, I think yeah, it'll be. It's great to hear that. There's always conversations happening, and there is a time, and we have to make sure that the resources and the eyes are going to the right places at the right time. So and look, I guess Uniswap year on year, like I said, I've said this before as well, year on year, we have had listings every year. This year, the major one would have been, of course, Uniswap launched with a great Merkle campaign, and it's working extremely well. And then prior to that, 2024, we had Mexi, and prior. I mean, I've been here since 2021, and I've seen Gate, I've seen all of them. So the team are always delivering year on year. And I think one of the best ones, my most favorite is has to be the Uniswap one, because being able to swap AHTR with HTR, seeing how the fees are. I've used Ethereum back in the day, like I haven't used it in a while, but didn't really realize
Well,
the Arbitrum fees were.
you can always say there is the dozer listing that's gonna
Oh,
happen.
there's a dozen listing as well. There's a dozen listing as well. Absolutely, and I think people are not ready to expect what's going to happen on Dozer. I know we've been teasing the Oasis campaign as well, and Dozer. I mean, the last time I properly used Dozer was during testnet phase, and I think it's a very intuitive dex. I think it's very modernized, very very up to date, up to par with any other decks out there. So yeah, I think it's going to be a showstopper. It's going to be definitely one to watch, and looking to close off the year well with Dozer. So guys, if you're not following Dozer, follow Dozer. They're the official decks of Hathor. So yeah, nice. Okay, so moving on to question 4, Jan. Um, I guess the first 4 questions actually they're all questions that are most frequently asked. So guys, if you think we're not answering the frequently asked questions, these are frequently asked questions. Number 4 is about marketing. So the question is, how are you promoting Hathor and HTR, and will marketing scale now?
Yeah, I hear that question a lot when not here. I read that question a lot when I'm in the groups. Um, I think Diego definitely is the best person
Yeah, cool.
to answer that, and I'm sure that he's going to be in a leadership forum very soon as well. Um, but yeah, I think for us, it's our priority is onboarding, developers, builders.
Yeah,
So, the playground is a great tool. We'll keep building on that, creating new blueprints, tutorial, hands-on tools that make it easier for anyone to create, you know, to create their own application. I think that's the goal, and that's how we're gonna, attract attention and, generate adoption.
yeah,
What we don't want to attract is just, the opportunistic traders or people who just want to come and go because there are some quick incentives, or they're just expecting some, quick pump. And then, again, tying to what I said with the exchange listings, yeah, we could pay for, so KOLs to do some marketing actions, but we see those are usually short-lived. The only thing that's really going to stick is adoption. So yeah, we're gonna have marketing campaigns focus on that, on bringing people who are true, believers, who see the value of the network and can build something on it. So I mean, we really want to, make marketing the right way. Attracting people who are just not gonna leave whenever there's this first, drop of price. We're really gonna stick and build and make Hathor great.
100%. And what excites me the most is, you know, nano contracts itself, and the one thing that comes to mind is the fee structures. Now more than ever, it's become a great home for devs to not only build a use case with ease, with our native Python VM smart contracts, Python on chain, but obviously giving them and empowering them with the fees. We've learned, right, like fee structure changes, all of the changes coming are made for the developer. They're made for the developer. We want the devs to come. We want them to build with ease and earn with ease as well. So yeah, and ties back to the last question. Having everything with ease and making money brings activity and activity. I actually put a post the other day, and the post I kind of copied off Dozer, and it was like the post. I'm gonna actually, while we're on here, I'm gonna quickly put it up because it's actually a very good. Um, it's a very good line. When did I put it? Yesterday. And the post is: the DEX defines the liquidity. The liquidity defines the markets. The markets define the projects, and the projects define the future of an ecosystem. Yeah, so those are shout out to you guys. You put that out, and I kind of copied you. So yeah, 100%. So thanks for answering that, Jan. As Jan said, marketing will scale in the right way, and the right way is empowering people, also getting the right people in and rewarding the right people. So, guys, great things are on the way. And moving on to question number 5. And this is a question because, all right, this is a good question because I understand this question as a non-dev. The question is, how will you explain nano contracts to everyday users? And the reason it's not difficult is, I mean, I watch these tutorial videos you're building, and even the one you just did now, like, because you have some sort of development background, it looks like writing on a piece of paper for you. But for me, it's still kind of seems a bit. I'd have to learn some terms or so on. But how are we planning to explain nano contracts to everyday users?
Yeah, I think the simplest answer is nano contracts. They bring the power and simplicity of Python to smart contracts. No solidity, no complexity. I mean, if you know Python, you can develop your own application on chain. Even if you don't know Python, as we're seeing with the blueprints, you can also develop some on-chain applications.
Sure.
But I think nano contracts they make smart contract development seem more like regular software development, and I think that's a big breakthrough. It's something that cannot be understated because most of the bugs and exploits they happen because people have this Web 2 mentality applied to Web 3 and kind of do stuff that's not so good. And with nano contracts, it's easier for people to onboard from Web 2 for Web 3. So if you consider, it's hard to estimate the numbers, but we were in Argentina last week, and someone said there are between 25K or 50K Solidity developers.
Wow.
Globally, right? And if you compare that to the number of developers in Python, I don't know how many there are. I'd say a couple millions at least, right? So if you do the math, if you can onboard a fraction of that, that's a lot more developers. So I think that's kind of the big breakthrough, how powerful nano contracts are.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I thought you were about to say a country or within a region, 25,000, but globally, that's hardly any, So, yeah, and I think we put a statistic out. I did personally on my personal Twitter when I think it was in April. I'll find it and I'll maybe push it out today. But yeah, Python developers, they're the most out there. I think you're right; they're in the millions. And yeah, like you said, if we could take a small market share of that, easily overpower the amount of Solidity developers if there's only 25K. And imagine those are without the complexities and time constraints and so on that comes with these more advanced languages or not advanced is not the word, but more complicated languages. So yeah, wow. Thanks for that, Jan. And moving on to the last question, it's a bit of a long question. Let me read this out. It's about MEV protection. How does native MEV protection in nano contracts impact the development of secure and scalable dApps, especially in high frequency use cases like DeFi or gaming? Quite a specific question.
Yeah, well, let me think how to answer this one. I mean, basically, NAV protection. Well, NAV people are rewarding transactions so they can, make money out of it. So if you send a trade order to a DEX, someone can see it and place an order in front of yours to maybe win some money on top of you. So with NAV protection, people are not going to be able to do that. I think the most direct consequence is that it's a fair market for everyone and for all applications developed on Hathor, right? Because it's MEV on top of the protocol. I saw some people, well, not some people, but when I'm using, for instance, Ledger Live, they say, oh, MEV protection, all of that. And that's kind of on top of the protocol, and you're kind of trusting a third party for that and all that. So with native MEV at the protocol level, it means that all dApps developed on Hathor, they have this feature, and you don't have to worry about being front run and protecting their users because they are being protected at a protocol level. So I think for the end user, what they're gonna have, like, the impact is a fair market. If some trades, they would have a higher slippage because someone did some fund running. With Hathor, there is no risk. So I think it's better for the end user. And again, the developers, the builders, they don't have to take that into account. They don't have to look for partners or some other solutions that do this because it's done natively on a protocol.
Okay. Thanks for going over that. I actually did say that was the last question, but I do have another question. It was just slightly measured next to this. It wasn't in bold, but I've got it now. And it's your favorite one, Jan. It's privacy. It's a privacy question. So it's not shielded transactions. It's a good one, actually, because I'd ask this question as well. Is there a forecast for the launch of shielded transactions? And that's not the main part of the question. The main part of the question is, will they come before or after bridges? Because I know bridges was another aspect of the roadmap. So that's a good question.
Yeah, they kind of are orthogonal in the sense that, with bridges, especially, now that we want to expand and, connect into larger bridges, is more, I don't know, like a business, and it's not entirely up to us only. We need to find a partner and all of that. Whereas the shielded transactions is just an internal engineering project, let's say, not just engineering, but also product, right? To define a lot of stuff on how we want this to behave. So I'd say they are not competing directly for resources. So it's not like one is going to come before the other. Yeah, maybe we can get a bridge next month, or maybe it's going to take a bit more time. But I cannot say that one is going to come right after the other or before, or whatever. They're going to be released as soon as they're ready. The only other thing that I can talk about, shooter transactions, we know that zero knowledge is a hot topic, but it's still a very early field of research.
Yeah.
And we know that a lot of the protocols, EVM mostly, are relying on ZK for privacy. That's not the approach for Hathor. Since we don't rely on smart contracts for token transfers,
okay,
it's a different technology. It's very hard doing privacy on smart contracts where you have to reach the final state, which is synchronized among all of the nodes and all of that, and doing that privately so no one knows, let's say, the amounts being transaction, whatever. With Hathor, since we have this different architecture where tokens are native and you don't need smart contracts for token transfer, it's a whole different technical solution. It's something, uses mathematics that's been well established. So again, that's to say that, if relied on ZK, it's kind of something early that's going to take a bit of a while before it can be mature, which is kind of the approach from most of the other chains. In Hathor's case, it's kind of a more direct math, elliptic curves, which again, it's something established for many decades, and it's more of a direct application. So I think, yeah, as I said, I'm super excited about it. And to be honest, it's one of the things that I'm going to be making sure that we are developing really quickly. But yeah, that's to say that it's not relying on tech that it's kind of still unproven and early
Yeah,
infancy, right? It's something that's already tested and out there in the wild for a long time.
amazing. Yeah, as you were explaining that, I just wrote down the idea of an infographic to compare the difference between zero knowledge and shielded transactions
Yeah,
because
and I mean, I think another leadership forum that you're probably going to have with Marcelo. Yeah, he's the best person, obviously, to talk all about the differences and how one solution compares to the other.
absolutely, yeah, no, that would be amazing.
Because, because I
Yeah,
mean, you have already Monero and Zcash, right, with private solutions, but on those chains, you don't have any other tokens. So yeah, obviously, it's amazing that you can trade privately, Monero and all that, but I mean, I would prefer to trade USDT or USDC privately, right?
exactly.
So, there are already some solutions out there, but we can incorporate those already working on Hathor. And
Amazing.
with our easy tokenization, again, that's super exciting.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I can see you're very passionate about this new segment, and it's good to hear that it's a priority and it's something that we want to work on as fast as possible. Of course, research aside, we want to make sure it's the best and research the best and understand it the best possible way. But it sounds like you guys already know and have made a great strong start. So shielded transactions, maybe we'll have to make some shirts with shields on the side. I don't know, like privacy version of the Hathor t-shirt, maybe with black and black logos. I don't know, but it sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. But yeah, no, I think I've taken a lot of your time. Just hit the hour mark, which is perfect and round. So yeah, thanks for taking the time. So guys, that was Leadership Forum with Jan. We briefly spoke about where we are today, a soft celebration on the nano contracts mainnet, giving a bit in context into the history, context into what we love about the roadmap, and also answering some of your frequently asked questions, which are really common questions. So we hope you did enjoy this episode, and we'll definitely get Jan, Marcelo, or even Diego onto another leadership forum or tech talk soon. Jan, did you want to part with any words?
No, just thank you everyone who's been in this journey with us. Now it gets super interesting. As I always say, I'm very excited to see what people are going to bring, and already excited with the few projects that are coming from the community, and we're seeing people building. I think it's kind of a compound effect, and the more we have, the more it's going to attract more other projects. So
So
yeah, I'm super excited on that. And again, I haven't been doing a lot of development in the past few years, but yeah, for nanos, I think I'll work some late nights and
yeah,
try to
yeah,
come up with something fun.
yeah, 100%, and we can see that you're already doing that by showing us the tutorials on the Hathor playground. So we appreciate your time for that. But yeah, Jan, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one.
Thank you.